Bună ziua, sunt Bogdan Olecu și bine ați venit la o nouă emisiune ZF Cum Construim România, realizată de Ziarul Financiar și CBRE. Astăzi ne întoarcem la discuțiile despre piața logistică. Îl avem alături de noi pe Alexander Pavlov, Managing Director al FM Logistic, și pe Mihai Pătrulescu, Head of Investment în cadrul CBRE. And now we'll switch to English. Hello Alexander, hello Mihai, thank you for joining us.
Hello Bogdan, thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here. Mihai, also thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Alexander, first of all, what's FM Logistic doing now? How's the business of the company, and how much is the company investing in developing new businesses?
The company is growing. 2025 versus 2024 is already growing the first semester, first quarter. We see that the economics and the logistics sector is very resilient, no matter the macroeconomic context. Logistics industry is very adaptive, so no matter what is globally the economic situation, the Romanian economy is very much FMCG consumption driven, so FMCG industries, retail industries will always have a job to do, and logistics will always have our customers to serve. So we are optimistic, we are positive for this year and for next years to come, and we invest primarily in technology, adoption of technologies in different areas where we work. Including automation, semi-automation, and heavy automation is under a very, very deep study right now. Investment in people for retention, for upskilling, for professional trainings.
Mm-hmm. Will you have robots inside your warehouses?
I look forward to this, to have it soon.
Mm-hmm. FM Logistic made let's say, a huge step. You sold your warehouses and rented them. Why did you do that?
That was a strategic financing decision. We unlocked the capitals, which was tied in the real estate, and it's a good bridge to your first question, because investment in technology, in automation, it requires capex, it requires cash. But we assured long-term rent, being a long-term tenant on those locations where we were present, renting 100% of those locations for long-term. And this is exactly the amount of resources that we consider that we will, in a few years, we will be able to invest. At the same time, it gave us a bit more flexibility, because having locations locked with banks of land also for construction, this puts you in a bit biased condition, considering the new business opportunities. Without this, we also consider customers' perspectives. If they are open, or if they are looking for some locations outside of our typical locations, we are much more open to that right now. Mm-hmm. Keeping existing operations, of course.
Thank you, Alexander. Mihai, we will switch a bit to the investment side of the business. What's going on now on the logistic market? Do you see new transactions? And how important was, for example, for CBRE this one with FM Logistic and CTP?
So we're definitely seeing more interest on the logistics side. Up until, let's say, about 2 years ago, office used to be the dominant. Now we're definitely seeing this pickup in retail and logistics. As Alexander said, these businesses tend to be very resilient. People always need to have the FMCG, to have retail, to have all these different things. So this was the focus from the pandemic onwards, the shift towards specifically on logistics. So this was reflected in our business as well. We started dealing much more with warehouses and industrial projects. The sale and leaseback with FM was a great project for us. We were very, very happy to work on it. And it's, as we said, it enables the sort of freedom from the balance sheet, from the investments, and then that money can be recirculated onto growth opportunities. So we're now focusing more and more on this type of projects.
Are we going to see new transactions like this?
I'm sure we will. Yes.
Listen, sell and lease back?
Yes. So there's several operators, either on the retail side, the logistics, multiple discussions happening on this front. Yes.
Is interest rate has anything to do with it?
Yes, so at a European level, the tendency for the interest rate was quite encouraging from the beginning of the year. So we saw that rates were going down. This freed up more space for investors to come in, and also it makes it easier to close the sale and leaseback transaction also from the seller's side. Then looking and going a step back on logistics into Romania. The density of logistics, it's still lower, and maybe we'll touch upon that. It's still lower than in the other CE countries. So there's definitely space for more development to happen, and more operations to also set foot, have external from Romania doing logistics into other countries, but also from different locations. So we see this growing impulse, let's call it, on the warehouse market, especially on the industry and the logistics side. But I'd say logistics is the dominant.
Thank you, Mihai. Alexander, you mentioned technology. Do you want to invest in it, or do your customers want this technology?
First, we want, because technology is an enabler for productivity gains, and you need to have a long-term vision, long-term position in order to convert investments into technology to your operating productivity gains. And we have it. But clients do not specifically want automation. They want reduction of exposure to labor cost growth, okay, which indirectly or immediately connects to automation. What clients want from service point of view, without telling us specifically which technology to use, they want immediate data, real-time data, track and trace about status of the orders, position of the orders, localization, digital document. This is what they want. They want to enhance their customers' experience, who should be able to watch in real time how the order is moving, where it is exactly. And this is not possible to answer without technology. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Will you also have a digital twin of the warehouse?
We did not specifically have that project. Like you mean like a showroom, which digitally customers can see what is there. I don't know. Honestly speaking, we did not make any decision on that. Mm-hmm. But the warehouse, it's easy to visualize, in fact, because all the data is there. Mm-hmm. And when we right now study different automation technology, as soon as the design is done, after to convert it into the 3D model, which can be accessed from everywhere, it's already pretty easy. Yeah, it's not. Some clients would like to have this as a nice-looking thing, result of automation, result of technology. For the moment, it's not something which is immediately helping to have a productivity gains or efficiency gains. We are primarily focused on the, let's say, content, not the form.
When you have a discussion with a potential client, what are the main assets you present to him? The main assets of FM Logistics?
When clients are buying outsourcing logistics, first what they're buying is a team, and the capabilities of the team to answer changing needs of the customer. Team who has access to technology, to best practices, to capital to invest in technology and in different types of technology. And the team who is flexible enough, open-minded enough to understand the change, which for sure will come. So customers know that they are not buying what will work now. What they need now will change. Mm-hmm. And they want to make sure that it will be also delivered. Okay. Yeah? So they are deciding about the company and the team backed with the company, but a local team and it's important for them to see operational people who they will deal with, not only commercial people or top management.
What industries do you target?
FMCG producers of food products, non-food products, cosmetics, perfumes, omni-channel, offline, online separately, and omni-channel together. This is the most complicated. This is where our added value is the biggest. This is to provide omni-channel customers with a high service level. You really need to master several technologies that should work together as one ecosystem. From time point of view, from quantities point of view, from fluctuations point of view, visibility point of view. So we target both producers of those types of products and retailers, online, offline retailers. In between, we connect industry with the consumers, providing services to both ends.
Did you invest more in the time of the pandemic since 2020? Did the e-commerce grew a lot for you in these years?
Yeah, it was one of the biggest factor of the growth of the sector, and in FM Romania, it's also visible in FM Logistic. More than half of the recent startups are the e-commerce or omni-channel companies.
Okay.
And now we have several projects, and 5 out of 8 are e-commerce customers.
Okay. Mihai, do you have any questions for Alexander?
I want to talk about the way that Romania is changing. So, especially on the logistics side. So, there's a lot of discussion about, you know, the current 1,200 kilometers of highway, 700 in works. We talked a lot about how this will change in Romania. So, how does it look from a logistics perspective once we have the 2,000 kilometers? And then once you layer the third layer on top, the 3,000, so the connection between east and west and all these different things.
When you put on top 1,200, it will be still significantly below other major markets around. Yeah, okay. So talking about Poland, Hungary, and talking about infrastructure, it's the weakest area of Romania, unfortunately. So Romania needs to pull out much more than that. On the high-speed road, highway infrastructure, on the railway need to be electrified. It's the lowest, I think, rate in Europe of the electric supply for the railway. The positioning of the country is amazing. It's the best you can imagine. It's in the middle of Adriatic. You can supply many countries around. The market itself is big, 20 million, let's say. Neighboring markets are half smaller. All ex-Yugoslavia and Albania is 20 also, yeah. But in terms of infrastructure, it's really weak. If you take the ratios per capita versus Poland, let's say, it's twice smaller population, but it's 4 times less the bank, of modern warehouse facility, and I think it's like 10 times smaller the highway duration distances. Much bigger gap with Hungary in terms of highways. So to deliver the potential of Romania as a regional hub, a lot of investments must be done in infrastructure, and this 1,200 will not significantly change the situation. It's mandatory, it's vital, it's minimum to do to connect west and east, which is always delayed, and that creates a negative sentiment from the foreign investors because they do not know exactly when it will be done. So one of the important things is to define the realistic planning and to communicate it. At least many businesses can plan accordingly. When it's delayed year by year, it's not helping. Where it will position Romania, how it will change Romania with time, Romania being part of Schengen, connected west and east, already connected with the railway infrastructure of Western Europe from the west of the country, will put west of the country in a much more beneficial position than it is now, and than the Bucharest. for specific segment of the company, that's how I see that. For the companies who have mainly import coming from the West, some of them hesitate to stop at the border because the distance to their major market is too high, to Bucharest. It's too high in terms of duration of transportation due to lack of unfinished highway. In future, when it will be finished, there will be more interest for placing stocks at the western border, because to serve Bucharest, to serve Cluj, to Turda, it will be very fast. At the same time, from west, there is a sufficient amount of export. So optimization of kilometers of trucks will be also achieved. I think west of Romania has a high potential. And especially because of the west of Romania, you can serve the regional clients. And it can be Hungary, it can be ex-Yugoslavia, it can be even part of the Central Europe with Slovakia, Czech Republic, which is traditionally connected to Poland. But you can also cover that. Of course, plus Bulgaria, plus Greece. So this is how we see Romania. This is how we see potential of the west of Romania. More and more regional projects should come. For the potential clients who outsource logistics, who are importers for European Union, Asian companies, for example, the VAT rate is interesting because customs duties are harmonized at the European Union level, but VAT depends on the country. And here, Romania is always competing with Poland and Hungary for the placement of the regional hubs. But when you import the goods, you pay VAT and duties, but in Romania it's the lowest. 19% versus 23% in Poland and 27% in Hungary. I mean, very high. It's a percentage of the goods value, so it's a lot. And if Romania will be able to keep it at 19%, this benefit will remain. Now, with the economic challenges, it's not easy to forecast what will be the situation because the budget deficit is big and growing. And taxation is potential is one of the things which probably is considered to be optimized. I would think it's important not to lose this benefit for Romania to execute this potential as a regional hub.
Because in terms of freight, Gdansk is still bigger than Constanța, right?
Yeah, Constanța is interesting from that point of view. Exactly. Yeah. Yes. And already some clients are considering Constanța, and Constanța can work as an export hub also, placing inventories in Romania for regional coverage. We can even imagine other countries of the Black Sea countries, Georgia, Azerbaijan, which can be delivered, and northern part of Turkey by land. So Constanța can play the role of import and export hub also.
Maybe an FM logistic warehouse in Constanța? Is it possible? Are you planning?
We have, let's say, it's a separate, different segment of activity. For the moment in Romania, we are primarily doing two types of services. It's domestic logistics and it's European level cross-border transportation. But we are about to start the forwarding activities, global forwarding activities, because we want to shift road to rail, talking about European corridors for sustainability reasons. But within the same sector, within the same segment of activities, ports and sea freight is playing a role. So launching the railway multimodal activity, we are in process to build a team here. We already did that in France, we already did that in Poland, we already connected several important locations of France, north and south, with the regular multimodal flows, France and Poland, and Romania is the next in this plan. Starting with connecting Romania to Western Europe by rail, it will continue by connecting Romania to the rest of the world, and here Constanța is playing the role. So it's a long-term plan, not for this year, everything, but definitely we start this year.
How big is the warehouse? Total surface with all your warehouses in Romania for FM Logistic?
In the group, it's almost 5 million square meters, 4.8. In Romania, it's 120 12,000.
Yeah.
We just expanded 2 months ago. We rented additional 12,000 for the growth. And so it's a small percentage, 4% of the group, roughly. Yeah, 3% of the group in terms of surface. And Romania represents close to 4% of the global group revenue. So it's a pretty small market. And it's not only Romania, it's Romania and Balkans. We also have offices in transportation activities in neighboring countries.
Do you plan to grow?
Yes.
Do you have certain cities, or you will grow where you are now, like Bucharest or Timișoara?
We will grow where we are, but several projects that we are considering right now potentially would give us new locations.
What do you target in terms of quality of warehouse? What do you want it to have?
Sustainable, ideally LEED certified, BREEAM LEED certified warehouses. That's the first thing. It should be located in the area where we can provide good working conditions to employees. That's also very important. And because our activity is based on mutualizing of resources, ideally it should be in the part of the park, of the industrial park, where trucks that we use to bring the goods or to deliver the goods, they minimize empty kilometers from one point of loading to another. More specifically, biggest growth will be still around Bucharest, west of Romania, Timișoara, where we have some vacant space, and we work right now on fulfilling that space. We have potential to build there more. So our target is there. But as I said, several clients want specific location outside of these two areas, and we are open to study it also in Romania.
Now, are you now more flexible?
Exactly, because we are now more flexible. When you have your land and when you have a capability to build more, you always try to build more in order to leverage on the existing activity and just to scale. You are biased in choosing the place. You always tend to choose extension where you are. When you are not anymore locked with that, you are more flexible to choose. Yes.
Do you have clients in your warehouses that deliver at regional level?
Yes. Yes, already now, yes, we have. And they are in Timișoara. And Diageo, for example, it's a producer of spirits products. And we have an excise warehouse in Timișoara from where we deliver 10 to 12 markets around Romania. And not only one of the projects that we study, it will be in Bucharest. We are really working hard to provide a very competitive offer. It's a tender right now. It will be a regional warehouse located in Bucharest.
How big? Big.
Above 10, close to 10,000 square meters.
When you say about the component about the environment, CO2, is it also because you have cosmetics and food in your warehouse and you have to reduce the bill at the end of the month, the energy bill?
About sustainability? Or,
Yes.
For sure, we have to reduce the energy bill. And that's the first step, to reduce the consumption. After we see how to convert this energy into more green sources. By the way, it's already in the warehouses. We already purchased the green energy, and in one of the 3 warehouses, we use fully panels that we installed, solar panels. We measure CO2, and we measure it for each customer that we serve. We provide the reports, and it's both. And usually in sustainable projects, sustainable impact, positive impact helps to reduce the cost also. They are helping each other. If I well understood your question.
Yes. And I was curious next about the workforce. How many employees do you have now in your warehouses?
Close to 600 permanent employees, plus seasonal temporary labor force.
Like for Black Friday?
Like for Black Friday, for example, yes, yes. Or Easter, or Christmas, or New Year, or back to school. But Black Friday is a bigger factor, yes. For sure. Because e-commerce is growing, it's the biggest impact, yeah.
Will this workforce still grow, or are you going to compensate with automation?
When we automate major processes, we will still have increase of the workflow due to the seasonal peaks. This is a very, very important question. When we size the automation, how we calculate the required capacity of automation. For sure, it will be calculated to cover 98% of days should be delivered. There will be 1-2% of days with extreme high peaks, which will not be delivered. But otherwise, it's not affordable from an economic point of view. But yeah, still, we do not consider automation like robots equal in quantity as the quantity of workers that we have right now, and just replace one worker by one robot. No, the automation, it will be goods to person type of technology. We will still have people operating, feeding this automation with products, receiving products, packing the orders. Still, a lot of operations will be done manually. But put away and bringing goods for preparing the orders will be automatized. It will help to reduce a headcount for specific project, I don't know, let's say from 50 to maybe 20, but the remaining 30 people will be employed in the new projects. Right now, we started beginning of the year, one client. We are starting end of May, second client. In September, it's already planned the third client. Without the projects that we are still designing the solution, out of these projects, one will also start this year, and it's not yet in the go-live plan. So that's why we are optimistic for the mid and long term, because we see the growth, we see the growth of demand, and automation will only help us to redirect resources, skilled resources, to the new startups.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. What do you target? What kind of companies do you target? Also, smaller, medium businesses, or only large companies?
For the moment, we are the most efficient for medium and large companies. Mm-hmm. We provide a very high level of service for small, medium enterprises, but economically, per unit of product, it's expensive, because we still use all the technologies that we have to ensure, to guarantee traceability, sustainability, and not every small, medium company is able to afford it, especially with a smaller scale. But it's a matter of prioritization, and it's a matter of time. We have a beautiful concept of multi-user service for small and medium enterprises in one multi-customer environment. But the quantity of projects that we have just do not allow us to prioritize on everything, and we have to choose what we focus on right now. And our choice is to focus on sustainability and automation, where you need a scale. That's why it's for medium, large companies right now.
Do you plan to go beyond 5% of total FM logistic portfolio when it comes to surface and business?
That's hard to do, because FM Group targets to double revenue by 2030 to almost reaching 3 billion euro.
Okay.
To be at 5%, I need to have 150 million euro. It's good versus it's quite high versus 66 what we generate now in the region.
Okay.
So it means I need to more than double. So it's a lot. What in the warehousing, it's project by project. So here we really depend on quantity of projects. In transport, the horizon is much higher. The potential is much higher, because it's a very fragmented market, and just by increasing the market share, we can achieve that easier. And especially when we put in place this multimodal solution, I really target to gain market share. And this is what I see in general. There will be a consolidation of the market, because customer expectations are evolving. They demand more sustainable, more customized solution, more technology involved with the real-time data. Everything is integrated in real-time, digital documents. It will be more difficult for small logistic providers to answer all those needs. So, which will trigger consolidation of the market and additional outsource of logistics, which is still done by producers or retailers by themselves. So there are several factors which makes us optimistic about the growth.
How will be the business in 2025?
Hopefully with the growth and hopefully with a stable macroeconomic situation.
How were the first 4 months?
Very much depends. Beginning of the year was good and high, then small decline, then beginning of April was high, end of April was surprisingly low despite of the Easter. Beginning of May for the moment is lower than expected.
Okay.
It's a roller coaster. Overall, first quarter is very much comparable and somewhere even bigger than the first quarter last year, but not significantly. Yeah, we can say comparable. We are bigger because of new projects, but like for like, we can say comparable.
Thank you. Mihai, any more questions for Alexander?
One last question, which is about retail. So, especially on retail, we are seeing some newcomers testing the market. Is that showing also on the logistics side with newcomers asking for services?
The newcomers, they prefer to test by themselves. What I saw, we did not see a demand from newcomers. All the projects we have right now are from established players. It would be interesting to have also those. No. Answer is no.
Yeah.
Not yet. Not yet. Let's say like yes.
Thank you very much. Mihai, one more question from my side. How are the yields now? Beginning of the second trimester in 2025 when it comes to logistics, industrial, but also with the other industries, because I'm very curious how it's evolving right now.
I can tell you from sort of the difference between end of 2024, beginning of 2025, there was definitely a pressure on yield, especially on logistics and on logistics, industrial and retail. To lower the yield, so improvement in investor sentiment on that front. It's also a feature of having low availability of product. So those are slowly coming into play, the compression of the yields. We see it happening more towards the end of the year. Obviously, interest rates are helping as well, and also sentiment was going well in the first quarter of the year.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you, Mihai, for joining us today. Mulțumesc de asemenea și telespectatorilor noștri și vă doresc mai departe o zi bună în continuare. La revedere!